this seems to be live this time. Right? We currently got Saddle's army on the Chinese side. We got Fury Divine's army on the US side. The companies for Fury Divine side are a core company, whiskey company, Blackwater company down to 2 or 3 members, and the SBS squad. On the Saddle side, we got Dragon Company, First Independent Brigade KPD, and the KSK squad. The current captains are Dragon Company Chillum, KPD, Zone, KSK, Lihu, aka Jay. For Core Company, it's Juno, who's been leading all day, as well as Chillum. Whiskey Company, Macchiato, also been leading all day. Blackwater got Cypher, also leading all day. And SBS, we got My Cats. 4 seconds to the live round start. We're playing Conquest Small with 4 flags in the middle, which means that it's a 3-on-1 to get the bleed, which is a little bit different from the other maps we've been playing today, where it's been 3-on-2. 3-on-1 is a little bit harder, and I think we'll see less bleed and more fighting, which I'm looking forward to. As you could have guessed, Charlie flag in the center with a big tower is where most people are going for a ground start. Americans are getting a little bit better on getting in there, while the Chinese are fighting their way in there. Chinese succeeded to stop it just before turning blue. Meanwhile, Bravo is completely empty. Alpha and Delta have gone up for respective sides. Charlie is now going up for the Chinese after being so close to cap for Americans. Blackwater with Dark Cyber is still alive in Charlie, but there are not enough members. Bravo is flashing with 2 Chinese members there, and which means the fleet is going to go for the Chinese. And the Chinese and Saddle have been losing a lot lately, and they currently need a win to boost some morale. We've got an attack bird with jets in there, forcing the tank to go into the water and will be killed. Charlie flag is flashing as the Blackwater is still alive, and the I'd say Saddle with company left the flag cap. Bravo is getting hit by Mycats. Meanwhile, Blackwater are still fighting, as well as Juno. The Core Company are fighting with Charlie, securing the Grey and the Bravo and killing it back will stop the bleed, which is important in this map. And currently, even if there is a lot of members, we're not seeing the flag switching sides. Chinese are emptying the American resources here, but they apparently missed the spawn beacon. Chinese are spreading around. Blackwater are back in the game thanks to a spawn beacon, but flag is also a little bit flashing because Yuna and the course are on the roof. Delta is flashing due to tank being there, but I'm not quite sure if the source is going to secure this flag. Looks like he's the only one there. Alright, 1 Chinese, 2 Chinese, 3 Chinese, 4 Chinese spawned in. If they have some AT, this should be going Chinese. Meanwhile, Charlie flag is still flashing. Chinese are gonna lose their flag there, which means 2 grey flags for the Chinese. Charlie flag is going up decisively fast for the Americans. There are Dragon Company still alive thanks to 1 member staying hidden. but they're not going to be able to get this flag that easy with the enemies on the roof. Bravo Alpha Charlie, Americans got the bleed and the lead. Tank on Delta have been forced to retreat. Ethnics is driving one tank, Berlex is driving another, and Macchiato in his tank have fled. Charlie is belonging to Juno and Blackwater's Core and Blackwater members currently. One of the Chinese tanks have been driving into the river and seems to be an easy target for them. Meanwhile, it seems like they want to destroy the tower as it keeps flashing and alarm ringing. We got Dragon Company trying to secure Charlie flag, but with Juno staying on that roof, it's gonna be hard. Charlie did flash a little bit there. Seems like Dragon Company got some help that got taken out. But that tower is going to come down soon. Bravo Alpha is somewhat secure. Alpha is getting hit by parts in the tank, but with an enemy tank there and 2 soldiers, he lost. Blade is still American with Salon's army, which means that they are working hard for their first win. Sorry, Americans are Fury Divines, the Chinese that have Salon. Which means Fury Divine's army are taking the lead with almost 100 tickets now. Rafaelis on Saddle's army that have been losing the last 2 maps completely are attempting to take back Charlie flag. The fight seems to have been a little bit up and down here, but we've finally lost the Americans on top of the roof, but they still got their spawn beacon and a tugs up there. Members 1414, currently in the lead is Lemon Crumpy with 9 kills, as well as Juno with 10 kills. They're doing much better score-wise than Americans. Ticket-wise, it's a stalemate right now and no bleed, but the lead is 100 for the Americans. Americans holding Bravo and Alpha. Delta is not really being contested, more of a tank battle out there in the open. Charlie seems to be the flag that's dropping and going up. The Chinese need to secure Charlie and grab another flag, or drop Charlie out together and grab Bravo and Alpha. But they're not allowed to keep fighting over Charlie, or they're gonna lose this battle. Americans are very, and Fury Divine are very good at focusing the flag on attack, meaning that the Chinese are constantly defending from being bled instead of attacking from bleeding. With the spawn beacon on top of the roof, it's much easier for the Americans to do this on the Charlie flag than should be allowed. Chinese were able to get a helicopter or something to take it out, that would have been good. We got one dropper, and it's the general himself dropping a Bravo. There we go, Jeff's flying around. Jeff takes out Salo. Bravo is going back up. Charlie is flashing up and down, but mostly held by the Chinese side, and the ticket count is now less than 100. The Americans probably need to secure that Charlie flag. With the tower down, there's a road between Bravo and Charlie extra. And there's also a hole in the wall if I don't want to use it. The tank battle seems to be focused between Bravo and Delta, and seems to be more of a tank battle than anything important. The Chinese have one tank out in the middle of nowhere fighting an American soldier, Captain Superfly. I don't see Superfly winning that battle, and there he went down. Meanwhile, the Charlie flag are going up a little bit for the Americans. They've secured the bottom, while Chillum and Dragon Company have the top. And Juno and Core Company in the bottom. With more members, they were flashing it, but now it's going up Chinese again. I'm not quite sure if Dragon Company is aware that there is a spawn beacon on the flags on top of Charlie helping the Americans out. We got Lemming Grumpy in the tubes. We got Jensen running. He's running with the KPD squad. SAD Jensen. Vladimir is running with the Dragon Company. The Dragon Company is currently down to 3 members. Right now the Americans are locking down Charlie pretty good. With no attacks on Alpha or Bravo, it looks like the Americans will succeed in getting another 50 tickets of bleed or so before we can get a flash. If we're looking at the big map, we got independent squads moving around on that tank battle, forcing it to become an end. With the end of the American tanks on the Bravo side, maybe they'll get hit. Salary rushes in before anyone else's. And this is costing tickets for the Chinese. Jensen, with the help of Ethics, is trying to get into Bravo flag, but that's a hard push. Not necessarily because they are lacking skills or anything else, but more because the terrain is a little bit more helpful for the defensive player. Right now we're seeing close to no pushes. We have a 2-man squad as well as a tank trying to move into Bravo, but they're being pushed out by the evasive infantry on Bravo. Alright, Captain Superfly deals with that threat. The Americans still have the bleed. It's currently a 150 ticket lead. Chinese have 2 tanks. One is pushing towards Shark. They've got Chillum and Dragon Company pushing for the back wall. If they hadn't pushed that tank back, they might have been able to get there safely. Alright. They're gonna try and blow up the wall. Making a road in, not big enough for a jeep or for a solo player. Chillum leaves the jeep as well and jumps down, puts down a beacon and then goes through the hole. Vladimir and Chillum solo trying to get in there. They should have a Racer as well. I'm not quite sure where he is positioned. Right now the Americans are doing a very good job. Alright, Racer and Dragon Company pushing into Alpha. Vladimir is doing something, getting stuck and then dying, I think. Friendly attack bird overhead, Fury Divine, looking through his bird eye view. Missing out on the attacking Alpha. The Alpha is gonna go grey. Core and Juno's spawning back. Fury Divine takes action. The Chillum Raster currently fighting. It seems like Vladimir opt. Chinese are down to 12 members and US are up to 15 members. And the flag is being held grey, at least on Alpha flag. Now it's even decreasing, going for the Chinese, which is going to stop the bleed. Americans need to do something. We got a 3 battle tank, strong army heading for Alpha, Bravo. They're actually very, very spread out. They got 4 tanks now. Actually, they just lost 1. They temporarily had 4 tanks, which could have given them a little bit of a hope. We got 2 tanks sitting outside Delta. Delta is being splashed by Superfly, but he's not going to be able to cap that. The Chinese are pushing Bravo while they're losing Alpha. 2 friendly Chinese tanks on Bravo. They should be able to get the drop onto Macchiato. Macchiato should be losing this battle. Macchiato took out 1 tank, down to 45% health, 20% health. Banging Crazy ripping, and Banging Crazy dying. 29 health for Macchiato. Jensen, well, the tanks did their job. Even if they lost in the end, they grabbed Bravo. Delta is still flashing. Captain Superfly is hiding very, very well there. He succeeded in graying that flag. I don't think he's going to be able to capture it. No, there he goes down. 495 versus 282 tickets. It's just over 200 ticket lead for American side. 17 minutes gone. This is looking like another Fury Divine victory so far. Numbers back to 14-14. I'm guessing Wagner did not. We got Tom and Eugene, Dragon Company, making the number switch. Blockhead is pushing into Bravo. With a C4 Jeep sitting in the gunner seats. And he's gonna be able to grade that flag. Seems like he's not going to even get contested on it. Charlie, meanwhile, is dropping, going up Chinese, meaning a trade for flags here. Which means the Chinese are stopping the Americans from getting the bleed. Alright. Right now, we still got the Dragon Company with Raz and Chillum fighting outside Alpha, dropping in on the spawn beacon and over the wall. Charlie have been secured by J, which is the KSK squad. Then we got Jensen with the KP squad, as well as Ethnics, attempting to do something about Bravo, but they're 2 tanks. A fight that does not really seems to be going the Chinese way today either. Macchiato have been doing a very, very good job with his rapper Banging Crazy, staying alive and killing off the enemy tanks. The Source is attempting to go for the back, getting a shot off. The Source is racing Ethnics down. Both members left the tank. Alright, Ethnics back in the tank, getting killed. Source leaves his tank wide open while he repairs it. flag caps are still 2 and 2, and as you see, the ticket counts have stalled. Bleed R is doing a lot. Blockhead is moving in for Delta Cap, but Parts is moving in with a tank. Unless he gets support from Macchiato, he's not going to be able to capture that flag. Parts is getting hit by an tank Macchiato, which is forcing his consideration. Maybe he's gonna miss that C4. Blockhead did kill himself, but the tank died as well. Duke and Dragon Company went back to Delta, which secured it, so there's not gonna be any bleed there either. Dragon Company also lost their beacon outside Alpha Wall. Currently, I think there is a little bit of a fight between Bravo and Charlie, but otherwise it seems rather stalemate. Americans have 3 tanks up and running, while the Chinese currently have 1. There's 0. Here comes Blockhead. Blockhead is sharp enough, he's gonna know the tank is there, and missed, thanks to active protection. Ethnic's tank is taking a lot of damage though. Chinese fighters are moving on to Bravo. Maybe we're gonna see a little bit of a flag cap here. It's been a long time, or so it feels. 20 minutes have passed of round, which means that there have been 3 to 4 minutes without any real flag capping action. Bravo did start to turn Chinese, but with the return of a tank and enemy soldiers, the flag cap failed. Meanwhile, the American seems to be getting a hang of Charlie. The Chinese are spawning in members right now, but the American seems to have more members in the cap than the Chinese. Charlie is going up friendly while they're losing Alpha. Jensen is sneaky. Alpha is being great while Charlie getting cap. We're back to 2 and 2. We got 1 American here. Jets is probably looking for Jensen, at least stopping the flag from going up. We also got a friendly squad leader running on foot back. It's my cats. Jeff saw Jensen, Jeff took care of Jensen, and the flag is gonna go up American, which is gonna put the bleed back. The bleed is going to come back. Delta flag have been somewhat contested constantly by Blockhead in his C4 Jeep and tanks shooting in, but they're not being a real push. Meanwhile, the Chinese and Dragon Company are rolling up a tank right into Charlie to see if that helps. Charlie's not even flashing. Bravo, meanwhile, gets taken by the Chinese, and the police stops once again. Nice work with J and drop shots. And the KSK squad. So, with the bleed stopped, Chillum is pulling out with his tank on fire. It's gonna blow. Bravo and Charlie's been swapped. Alpha was great for a time, but it's otherwise rather the same. This match is running longer than the previous rounds, mostly because it's so hard to hold 3 versus 1 flags compared to 3 versus 2 with these numbers. There's a lot more action as well, more full-scale battle compared to before. The fighting is very compressed, spread out but still compressed into small zones and small incidents. We got Dark Cypher with Blackwatch trying to raid Bravo. Meanwhile, Charlie's going up Chinese, which means the Chinese might actually get into the bleed a little bit there. They will have a few seconds of bleed before they lost Bravo. Bravo is going up American again, which means they've switched back their flags. Alright. Charlie is somewhat flashing between American and Chinese. Americans are downstairs, Chinese are upstairs. We got Jay with his KSK squad, where they are fighting, I believe, the Blackwater. Junior Core squad is here actually, and I got flashbanged. We got Vladimir, poor Juno, Lethalis, Scott, Captain Superfly. It's a fight over Charlie again, and the Americans on the Fury Divine side seems to be getting Charlie back. Flag is now graying, turning blue. Active protection saved the tank there, I would say. Hostile tank turns up with Jensen. Jensen should be able to win this battle unless he's gonna get killed by the rocket launchers from down the stream. Charlie is successfully captured on an American, even if they're still contested, it means a bleed. Depending on how long they successfully hold on to the bleed, this round might soon be over. We're approaching the 30 minutes round time. Americans have a decisive ticket lead, but as we've seen, tickets are not really dropping unless there's a bleed. Chinese are going to stop the bleed right now by fighting over Bravo. They have one man there. Chris Petro, shot or two would kill him, and it did. Or he's going to go up. Chinese have still their tank, but Charlie is not flashing at all. Alpha is gonna get hit by Lethalis and Jay in the KSK squad. This will probably be the closest they're going to get to a gray. And there it is, the stop of the bleed. Depending on how well they successfully survive, I think Alpha is gonna come back to America without too much bother. Here we go, one down. And we got my cats fighting off versus Jay. I say Jay have the better infantry skills. He's still getting pinned down and he's outside of the flag cap. Spawning a guy just as he dies, drop shots, successfully revives. My cat's got reinforcements in the form of Javs, which are holding on to Alpha. Meanwhile, they've lost Bravo thanks to a strong push from Dragon. The Americans are trying to fight back, but right now Bravo belongs to China. Stopping the bleed once again, even if the Americans got back Alpha. Alpha is secure, meanwhile Bravo is lost. So it seems. The Chinese are pushing in and stopping it from turning, which is good, but the Chinese need to secure a third flag. They do not need to fight over their second flag if they're gonna win this. Once again, 2-2 stalemate between the flags. Right now, the Chinese have a strong offensive with Saddle on the Bravo flag. The Americans have a decent one on Charlie. Otherwise, it's very, very dead. The numbers right now are 15 versus 14. Current killers are Juno and My Cats on the American side. My Cat's doing very, very well for himself there. Chinese tanks pushing into Alpha as Bravo looks like it's going to get lost. Bravo is still up for the Chinese there. It went grey. Charlie's held in a flashing position. Alpha meanwhile is slowly going up. What is Verdes doing? No one knows. Alpha is not gonna go up for the Chinese, I think, with the attack bird and the tank rolling in. That battle seems to be over, which will put the Chinese, will keep the Chinese from getting the bleed. Alpha is going back American. Meanwhile, Bravo is flashing. We're down to 87 tickets on the Chinese side, and I think that the Chinese lack of getting the bleed is the sole reason for this. The fights have been good, killing have been a little bit better for the Chinese side, or the American side. But overall, the Chinese have been more on the defensive than the offense, barely securing their secondary flag over and over. We also seem to have had some air fights, although that's been kept to a minimum, with some attack birds showing up now and then. There have not been that many attack planes in the air. The others is currently flying around, as you can see. And we also have Lemming, Grumpy and only Tom in the air. Charlie is getting flashed. Drop shot on the ground. Don't think he's going to be able to soul cap it. Superfly seems to have found drop shot and killed him. We got incoming once again, killed by Superfly. Flag is halfway to Chinese. If the Chinese were able to succeed as recapture it, they will have the bleed. Currently it's Superfly trying to hold it down. Li Hu jumps down. Li Hu takes care of Superfly. The flag is gonna come up Chinese, and we have a Chinese on the bleed. Charlie is flashing as soon as it got captured, but it got captured. Now he's just gonna keep it Chinese. They need to spawn in more members. Precisely before a grade, it's successfully spawned in enough members to hold off the American. The fight seems to be rather intense in Charlie right now, and the Americans are still bleeding. If the Chinese keep this up, they might be able to pull it off. Just might. We got Fury Divine on the back side of Delta, starting to flash it. Charlie is flashing to and fro once now. But Fury Divine seems to be able to stop that bleed. There's no one coming for him. With the defense of Bravo and Charlie, there's no one over at Delta, and the attacker should have focused on it, but seems to be taken care of by Lemon Grumpy. We got Alcrim coming in a tank as well as Ethnics, but the bleed have been stopped. Bravo is also flashing now, banging Crazy Brian through the wall. Monicat's on the ground, but leaving the flag cap. Blackwater with the Dark Cypher on the ground. Delta is gonna come up Chinese once again. Charlie is still being somewhat contested, but he's being held Chinese. Bravo is flashing fast. Bravo is flashing fast. Bravo is surrounded by Americans, and this might be stop to bleed. Delta is still not up Chinese. Americans are doing well over there with Fury Divine. Bravo get up, but they lost Alpha. Alpha got taken by J. Chinese are very, very much on the offensive right now. And they are paying for it with a lot of flashing flags. But they got secured too. Chinese have secured 3 and they are bleeding again. It's a 10-1 lead for the Americans, but with a bleed that can be turned. 33 tickets and the Americans lost, I'd say 50 to 20, so they need to hold on to that bleed a little bit better than they've been doing. Alpha is going back on the American side, stopping the bleed. By stopping the bleed, it's pretty much nullifying the chances for the Chinese. By stopping the bleed, these odds are unbeatable. The odds are currently more than 10-1, which means that the Chinese are dying more than they need, more than they are allowed to. As the flags held 2-2, the Americans have a very, very big advantage, and the Chinese knows it by pushing hard on Bravo. Delta with Fury Divine flashing. Bravo is also flashing. Bravo is gonna go back to the Chinese, but it's 21 tickets now. I think the Chinese have lost, even if they're doing an admirable job here fighting. There goes Chill and Balance tank. Double kill by Blockhead. Chinese did secure Bravo, but did fail to secure Alpha. Bravo flashing, Delta secured. Charlie not really contested. Delta flashing as Fury Divine once again gets into the flag, forcing the Chinese to log up assets on him. This is it. 8 tickets left, and the Chinese are losing more tickets than they're allowed to. Seven tickets for the Chinese, 297 tickets for the Americans. Americans are gonna go for a rather half-decisive victory again. Chinese seem to be able to secure Charlie, but they don't have the tickets to defend it for the amount of time they need to. Americans are overpowering the Chinese as they're starting to stop spawning in. We see Dragon companies pretty much all spawned out. 3 tickets left. Yeah, this is it. Bravo is flashing and it's over.